Outlander's final season is getting closer, and I bet you've seen the gray hair, the leaked set pics, maybe even some wild theories. But what's really happening in Season 8? We've got new characters, old favorites returning, and a final chapter that might not go the way you think. If you're anything like me and can't wait for Season 8, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. In Season 8, we're back in North Carolina. Last time I checked, Jamie, Claire, young Ian, Rachel, and Fanny were off to Fraser's Ridge. To be honest, I really miss the Ridge. After their house burned to the ground, I wonder what their new home will look like. I wish I could say things will finally calm down after they get to the Ridge, but let's get real. Peace doesn't last long in this world. In Season 8, I feel like we'll get some answers about Fanny and Faith, maybe through Claire's dreams. Or maybe Master Raymond will pay a visit to Claire, as I feel like he got this strange connection with her. Let's be honest. To Claire, Faith is like a wound that's never really healed, and now the show's about to rip it wide open. Thankfully, she has Jamie, and he's going to try to support her through it while he fights his own battles. I can already feel how heavy that's going to be. Not just because it's the last season, but because everything they've pushed aside is coming back, and there's no more season to hide from it. Now, you've probably seen the leaked photos. I saw them too, and the first thing I noticed was the hair. Claire and Jamie look older, but not in a we threw in a gray wig way old. They look like they've been carrying the world on their shoulders. And who can argue otherwise? I feel like, after the first 1 or 2 episodes, we'll have a time jump. Nothing's confirmed, but it fits. This story has always centered around time, sometimes in painful ways. And if they're fast-forwarding us to the final version of Jamie and Claire, are we really ready to see it? The gray hair, the exhaustion in their faces. It's obvious. Time's moving fast, and they're barely keeping pace. You can feel that something's about to break this time, for real. And now, on top of that, the war's closing in too. It's not just noise in the background anymore, it's another thing they'll have to survive, or won't. Since the story has always revolved around them, the final chapter is going to push them to their limit. But after everything they've been through, it's hard to believe the ending will be peaceful. Now, we have to mention Claire's hair. It's still gray, not white. In the books, the shift to white hair ties into her powers, her presence, the full weight of who she's become. The show seems to be softening that, keeping her grounded, maybe even holding something back from us. Whether that's intentional or not, it changes how we read her timeline. We still don't know much, and maybe that's the point. The photos don't spoil the plot, they set the tone, and something's clearly about to shift. Now that we've looked at what's ahead for them, let's look at who else is showing up, both familiar faces and new ones. In this season, we'll see familiar faces making a comeback and some new ones, perhaps causing an unfamiliar tension. Fergus and Marsali are confirmed to return. You remember their absence leaving a gap, but now the real question is how much the show will put them through. If you know how things go in the books, then you already know what's coming might not be easy to watch. Their arc gets dark, and there's a chance the show could follow that same direction. You'll probably want to keep an eye on how far they decide to take it. As for new characters, Kieran Bew is joining the cast as Captain Charles Cunningham, a retired British soldier. Frances Tomelty plays his mother, Elspeth Cunningham. If you ask me, neither one feels like a neutral addition, especially not with the war in full swing. Since this is the final season, I'd prefer the story to focus on Jamie and Claire instead of the new additions. I'm afraid their arrival could bring more pressure into Jamie's world politically or personally. And then there's Carla Woodcock as Amaranthus Grey, tied to the Grey family, but her motives aren't fully clear yet. That usually means everything might not be as it seems. I'll be honest with you, new characters in this show rarely exist without consequence. When someone walks in, it usually means something is about to shift, and not always in a good way. We all have seen it happen before, and it seems likely to happen again. On the other hand, Tobias Menzies, who played Frank Randall, confirmed he won't be returning for the final chapter. So if you were hoping for a surprise cameo, it's unlikely to happen. As for the release date, filming wrapped in 2024 and now it's official. Outlander Season 8 is coming in late 2025 with just 10 episodes to close it all out. Not a lot of time considering how much story is left to cover. The prequel Blood of My Blood drops in August 2025, so it looks like they're giving that some space before bringing Jamie and Claire back one last time. It's a long wait, but that's kind of the pattern by now. It's not just about when it airs anymore, it's the fact that there's only one season left, and the countdown has officially started. You can feel the ending getting closer. If you're keeping up with every update like I am, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. After that, you can go and watch this video next.